Yes, we are back here in Wenz World with the one, the only, the gobbler from parts unknown, Radio
What it
Griff.
is, what it is, my man.
I'll tell you what it is. You went 11-5 last week.
What?
Had some great picks. Yours truly went 9-7, but I plan on rebounding and getting this title back, Griff.
Yeah, I should have put some money down on those games. 11. I would have made some money.
It's not too late. FanDuel.com, an unofficial sponsor of Wenz World. We are available for sponsorships if you want to. We'll gladly slide 50 Griffin's way. Let's get down to business, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, you went down 11-5, big time last week, but a lot has happened, right? We talked about this last week. What's going down in Chi-Town with Justin Fields and Andy Dalton. Now they say that when healthy, Andy Dalton is our starting quarterback. To me, this sounds like a perfect scenario for leadership. What you do is you say, yeah, Andy's not quite up to it if Fields is doing great. And if Fields starts to stink, then you say, it's a miracle. Andy's back, baby. What say you, Radio Griff?
I think this whole thing, see, you're almost giving Matt Nagy credit here, it sounds like. I'm kind of with the general public on this. I mean, he seems to be getting ripped on Twitter and on social media about the way he's handling this. And I think I kind of agree. I mean, come on, Andy Dalton? And you're claiming Andy Dalton, when healthy, is still your starting quarterback. I don't see it. I don't get it. Justin Fields is more dynamic. The Bears, at best, are going to win 9 games this year, maybe. So why not let Fields get some reps? Play Fields the whole time. Say Justin Fields is our future and he's our starter. But you know what's really going on here is Matt Nagy is hoping to get just enough wins, and Andy Dalton might be good for just enough wins. He did it in Cincinnati for years. Him and Marvin Lewis. It was like the Braves during the 90s. You make the playoffs, but you don't do anything in the playoffs. And I think Andy Dalton's good for that. Maybe Andy Dalton might be able to get the Bears to the playoffs, or maybe he can win 9 or 10 games and help Matt Nagy save his job. I guess Matt Nagy's probably thinking, if I start Justin Fields and we only win 5 games, I'm probably out of a job. So I think it's more of a self-preservation thing going on here. That's my point of view.
Yeah, I mean, the fans obviously want Fields to play. We know what we have with Dalton, and the kid is exciting, right? He came in last week, not a large body of work to show for, and you look at the stat line, it's not impressive. He threw a pick, but I want to see the guy play, and everybody knows he's the future in Chicago. So to me, he's hedging, and that's why he's kind of getting all the shade, and rightfully so. Right. As a fan, and I guess we could call ourselves analysts. One day, maybe we'll get paid to do this. But I think it's time to, like you said, hand over the reins, see what Fields can do and can't do, and see what happens there. But I don't think that they're going to commit to him quite yet. I think that they're using this Andy Dalton injury as a way to kind of say, like I said, if Fields does well, then you keep Andy on the sidelines there, and then if Fields doesn't do too well, then Andy's ready to go all of a sudden, and then you're back to where you were.
I don't like this. Be a man. I hate this wishy-washy. We see this in leadership everywhere. This wishy-washy type of, no, see, he's our guy. I'm sticking with him through thick and thin. If he sucks, okay, I'll bring Andy Dalton back. But right now, Andy Dalton's hurt, and Justin Fields is my starter moving forward until he loses the job. He's our best option. He's our guy. He's our future, hopefully. We want to see what we got. Go down on the ship with him. I think that's more. If I was an owner, Lord, hopefully one day that'll happen, right? Hopefully we'll own an NFL team.
I'd rather have a roller derby team.
Maybe we can buy the Jacksonville Jaguars one day or something. But I would almost respect the coach more for that by just saying, this is my guy. This is who I want, not this trying to play to, he's hurt, so we're going with this guy, but just in case he's not good, we're going to go back to this guy. Nah, forget all that, man. It's time for men to be men and stand up. Matt Nagy is failing as a man right now.
High tea here in Wenz World. High tea, off the charts. Ladies and gentlemen, do not try this at home. And here we are. We're at the point in the show where we've talked about Chicago. And Griff, I'm with you, but I'm speaking from a point of view of like the actual reality of the world. Yeah, men should be men, but people like Matt Nagy he's in a tough spot right now. He knows he's on thin ice there. You
Right.
know, like I think that how he handles the kind of do what you're told from ownership is how he keeps his job.
Are we almost done with this? I have to go get my legs waxed soon.
Okay, well, we're gonna go together, right? And that's next week. That's next week.
We're the manliest of men here.
We Oh wow. So I don't know where we go from there, but if that's problematic, so is what's going on in Houston right now. This whole thing is just irksome from ownership on down to the GM. The GM's been there since January, longtime Patriot executive and in with the players, doing all sorts of stuff there. But you knew what you had with Deshaun Watson in Houston. And then you bring in Tyrod Taylor, who's had tons of injuries. He's had some success, some moderate success when he played for Buffalo, but he's had more injuries than success. And then you have a guy named Davis Mills to back him up. So you knew Deshaun Watson was going to be out for the foreseeable future. Then you have as a backup, you say, okay, Tyrod's our guy now.
Right.
Well, why would you do that and then have a third stringer in there that came out of college, a third round pick from Stanford, played okay, but we don't go back to college to determine how valuable an NFL player is. How many times have we been burned by that stat line? And I'm just sitting here thinking, as I'm going through the Twitter feed this morning, Good Morning Football is like trying to pump me up, trying to hype me up for this Thursday night game tonight, minutes away actually. And I just can't buy in, man, because I just know that Carolina, the surprise of the NFC South, is going to pound Houston, and the Texans are just going to have to take it. It's terrible.
Here's Carolina has looked pretty good in 2 games
Woo!
so far. Watch out for the Panthers. I was trying to pull up the rest of their schedule because I'm pretty sure they have a pretty easy schedule coming up here soon.
Well, little known fact, they play Atlanta twice, so add 2 more dubs to the old stat line there.
Right. They're playing the Texans. They're playing the Cowboys. Cowboys is next week. Very winnable game for the Panthers. The Eagles, we know they're not any good. They're going to win that game. They got the Vikings, the Giants, the Falcons. I mean, the Panthers, they might, every year they say there's a surprise team that makes it.
Are you calling an undefeated season, Griff? Is this what I'm hearing?
Not an undefeated season, but I think we could see them sitting at like 9-2 at some point. Maybe they lose to the Eagles. Maybe they lose to your Eagles, which would be a shame. But watch out for the Panthers. And that offense looks good. The defense looks – I mean, they look good.
So good.
I mean, Joe Brady, the OC there, I mean, who's high? He might be – we just talked about the Bears and Matt Nagy being on thin ice. Joe Brady might be the head coach of the Chicago Bears next year.
And that I hate when coordinators get promoted. I want coordinators to understand, like The Rock used to say, know your role. Like I want a long tenured coordinator back in like the 80s and 90s before all of these. You have one dynamite season on offense, then all of a sudden you're the next best thing, Johnny come lately. And that's I wish they wouldn't. I wish they wouldn't get offered all these head coaches. But if they keep it up, you're right. They could be 9-2. They could actually give Tampa Bay a run for their money, which would be super interesting. So, Griff, our Thursday night game, the aforementioned Panthers heading into Texans, playing the Texans. I guess the Texans playing Texas still for the time being.
I think
what do you think? Panthers, are they going 3-0 after tonight?
Oh, easy. 3-0 Panthers, baby.
Yeah, I like it too. I'm going to go Carolina there. Indianapolis in Tennessee, the 0-2 Colts. Oh my word, Griffin. How does a guy sprain both of his ankles on one play?
I think you probably miss Carson Wentz, don't you?
Yeah, not at all. But I am going to miss that first round pick because I'm doubtful that they'll play the X percentage of snaps he needs to play for them to get that first round. I think it's like 77.859%.
So yeah, that's a good point. I wonder if something a little mischievous is going on here with all that. Is he really injured?
Skullduggery. What's going on in Indianapolis?
I don't know. It's kind of a mess. And I don't know if I would trust the Colts this week either. Honestly, I mean, they've got injuries. They have an injury problem.
You know what though? There's something to say about desperate teams, Griff. That 0-3 hole is a dark, dark abyss.
It is dark. And we're talking through this right now. You're seeing the thought process going on. I'm someone who went 11-5 last week. I obviously know what I'm talking about here. So, yeah, they're playing the Titans. The Titans had an incredible win last week. So you got to think this might be a down week for them, kind of a trap game to a degree. They're so high from last week, maybe still celebrating that win against the Seahawks.
Yeah.
That maybe the Colts come down to Nashville and sneak out a win, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think the Titans win.
Upset special of the week.
No.
Indianapolis rolling on in dirty to Tennessee, and they are going to edge out the Tennessee Titans. That is my upset special of the week. Griff, you're rolling with the home team. Coco brother, home team, baby. We skipped the Falcons game last week altogether because we knew at the end of the day that Tampa was going to win. And for a while, Atlanta kept it close. And then Tampa did what Tampa does, and they ran away with it. And Brady still had negative things to say about his 5-touchdown performance. What a hero. What an absolute Americana, Tom Petty-esque hero.
He really is. Never satisfied. That's what makes him the GOAT. I mean,
insatiable.
Tom Brady, Nick Saban, Bill Belichick, those types of guys, they're never satisfied with these great results. They want more. That's what you got to love about Brady. Yeah, I kept checking my phone line. I was busy doing something, and I kept looking at the Falcons and Bucs score. I was like, oh my gosh, it's kind of close. What's going on? And then sure enough, and how about Gronkowski? He has turned back the clock somehow, and he looks incredible again.
It's the TB12 method, man. He got the book before it was available.
It's probably true. That's probably a fact.
Little known fact that when you get a signed copy of a book, you absorb the information twice as effectively.
No, it's good to know. It's good to know.
Yeah.
But the Falcons and Giants this week, the battle of the winless teams.
0-2 and 0-2, that 0-3 hole.
There's only one way for this game to end, right?
Well, there's two ways. It could be a tie. Could be 0-2 and 1.
Well, that's what I'm saying. A tie. It would only be fitting these two teams in a tie. I think the Falcons finally get a win. I think they have more weapons on offense, and I think they'll put it together and get a win against the Giants this week.
I am taking the G-men at home.
Oh, no.
They are up against it. The media is crushing them. They have no choice but to win. Atlanta, Matt Ryan is done. He has a noodle arm. This whole Kyle Pitts thing was a total mistake. That poor guy, his career is going to be not what it could be had he been drafted by a team that has an actual strategy. Yeah, it's Atlanta's just
is Arthur Smith already on the hot seat? Is this one of the worst coaching hires of all time?
I don't know, but listen, I don't know, man. But it's not looking good. Like
you said earlier, some guys are just meant to be coordinators. Mm-hmm. Could he maybe be one of those guys who, he's a great coordinator. He turned around Ryan Tannehill's career. The Titans were a perennial playoff team with him being the OC and Vrabel being the head coach. Things worked out. Now he's the top guy. I don't know, man. I don't know.
So you're going Atlanta. I'm going New York. 2 points of disagreement already, Griff. We're going to have a clear-cut winner this week. This is awesome. 1-1 Chargers beat up on them boys. Going against Kansas City. Oh,
Chiefs. The Chiefs
I know you're not sold on KC, Griff.
The Chiefs are vulnerable. We saw it last week.
Oh, gosh.
I like the Chargers.
Oh.
The Chargers are okay. You have a mountain. The Chargers are going up that mountain. The Chiefs are coming down that mountain. All right. I like the Chiefs in this. All right. I like the Chargers in this game.
Is this like the mountain on The Price is Right, where the guy's right. And then he falls off?
Right.
You're overbidding.
The Chiefs are about to fall off.
You are overbidding.
That window, that Super Bowl window is about to close.
You're overbidding on the San Angeles Chargers. There's no way they roll into Missouri and beat Kansas City. That's another. You see, they should be in Missouri City, Missouri. This whole Kansas City, Missouri, and Missouri City, Kansas. It's so confusing.
I don't know where they are.
They're somewhere out there.
West where cows live.
Where all the Cowboys roam. Paula Cole said something about that. Here, the Bengals are rolling into Pittsburgh, the battle of the 1-1s. In case you forgot, I'm taking Kansas City in the last game.
No.
Bengals at Steelers.
Upset special. Upset special.
Are you picking Cincy?
Of course.
Oh my gosh! I wanted to make sure I had clarity on that.
We have the mountain again. One team's going up that mountain. One team's coming down that mountain. Big Ben already hurt. Something with his shoulder or arm. I don't know.
Pectoral. His pec.
The man is always hurt. He doesn't look good out there. He probably should have retired. He probably should be broadcasting with Drew Brees. Maybe Drew Brees could have hooked him up with some of that new hair that he found. I would like to find some of that. Where do you
have some of this?
Where do you get that hair that Drew Brees got? I mean, I can really use it.
It comes with a scar. Be careful.
That's true. I like the Bengals in this game. I like Burrow. I like his hookup with his boy from LSU. I think they got things rolling there in Cincy.
I got to go with the Steelers at home, man. Big Ben or not, they don't lose this game. There's no way. Or there is a way, and I lose continually. Let's see. Chicago at Cleveland. Ooh, Bears at Browns. This is a big game here. This is what we talked about, Griff.
This is a game the Browns should easily win with Justin Fields starting for the Bears, but they're the Browns. It's Baker Mayfield. This screams to me upset.
Oh my gosh.
Justin Fields goes in, he becomes a media darling. Things get hot in Chicago. People are like, see, we told you so. Fields should be the guy. And Baker gets the heat that he always gets at some point during the season, losing a game he shouldn't lose. And this is that game. And I think it's going to come down to Baker making another mistake to lose the game. I like the Bears to upset the Browns.
Unbelievable. You called me a front runner in week 1, and here you are jumping on the hype train of Justin Fields.
I'm not jumping on. I think
you're predicting them to go into Cleveland and beat the Browns.
Okay, Fields will do well, but I think more so the Browns are going to lose this game. This is
on what basis?
Based on history. Based on Baker Mayfield being who he is. I like him. I like the guy. I like his swagger and everything, but I still think he chokes up this game.
Wow. I think Baker has a lights out game. I think this is a comeback game for him. He struggled early on. It should be 2-0. There's some questions in week 1. You're thinking, I don't know. Was I sold? I don't know. We'll see what happens there. Wow. We are on a fast track to disagreement here. Ravens at Lions. Boy, Green Bay took care of business. Aaron Rodgers getting a little sassy on the microphone. He's very emo nowadays. Have you noticed that?
He's a sassy boy.
He's very sassy. It could be the cheese. I don't know what kind of hormones those cows are on. You never know when you're ingesting that. It can make you weird. It's like birth control. You don't want to take that stuff inadvertently. I don't know. Here we go. Baltimore at Detroit, 1-1. How about that win by Baltimore? Going for it against Kansas City, edging out the Chiefs. Man, Baltimore, I might be changing my Super Bowl pick yet again, Griff.
Oh no, they're not a Super Bowl pick. Come on. If this Baltimore Detroit game was going on in my backyard, I'm not sure I would watch it. I don't care. The only reason to have any interest in this game is if you have Lamar Jackson on your fantasy team, because I sure hope you don't have anyone else in this game on your fantasy team. Maybe Hawkinson for.
Yeah, I was about to say their tight end is beast for Detroit.
But that's about it. There's no interest in this game. I don't care. Ravens are easily going to win. No question.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Ravens on the road as well. The Aints at the Patriots, battle of 1-1s. Griff, last week, the true Jameis Winston stood up, and we saw him for who he truly is. Threw some picks, got absolutely destroyed. So what are you thinking about famous Jameis now?
That's what Jameis does. Jameis being Jameis, right? I mean, that's who he is. I think Bill Belichick is not losing to Jameis Winston, period. Especially in Foxborough. I like the Patriots.
I like the Saints on the road there. I'm just going off the rails today. The team so far, in my opinion, the most believable 2-0 team, the Arizona Cardinals.
How about the Cardinals?
How about them? They are the surprise in many eyes, and including mine. And I would say I know that your team's 2-0. I know there's some strong 2-0 teams. You got the Bucks included. I would say Arizona right now is the best 2-0 team in the NFC for sure. They take on the Jaguars in Jacksonville. Seven Bridges, Jack. Shout out to you. What say you, Griff?
I mean, based on what you've seen this season, you have to go with the Cardinals in this game, right? I mean, no one, especially on a money line, when you're picking winners and losers straight up, you're not picking the Jaguars in this game. You just can't. Otherwise, you're a Jacksonville homer. There's no way. You got to go with the Cardinals in this game. They've looked really good so far this season. Best 2-0 team, a little strong. I'm not even sure they're the best team in their own division. I don't care what records are.
Wow.
Are they kind of a fraud 2-0 team?
What? They put up numbers. Look at the numbers.
Is this sustainable, though? I don't know. They're like a Madden team. They're fun. They're scoring lots of points. Lots of good fantasy players. But let's see when they start playing some real teams what happens.
Okay, so you got Arizona. I'll take Arizona on the road as well. That's a no-brainer. You're right. The Washington nameless football team, who have considered using the team name Presidents, which would be an utter fail and leave so much room for social media jokes, stomp into Buffalo to take on the 1-1 Bills, who absolutely sodomized the Miami Dolphins. That was the worst showing of bestiality I've ever seen in my whole life.
I won't comment on that, but the Bills, yeah, they got their stuff together last week, and they're the better team. I mean, they're a Super Bowl pick for lots of us, right? I like the Bills in this game.
Yeah, I love the Bills in this game. And I love seeing Washington continue to struggle because they're a division rival. And we're called to hate our rivals. Or wait, love our rival. It gets confusing. When the NFL is on, I throw all the New Testament out the window. You're an enemy to me if you're playing my team. I'm sorry. It's the way I am. I don't know. Love me or hate me. It is what it is. 0-2 Jets right on in, mile high, probably in the locker room against the 2-0 Broncos. 2-0. That is not an error, friends. 2-0 Broncos this year. Griff, is this a fraudulent start to a Broncos season or what?
Well, I mean, they say defense wins championships, right? Vic Fangio is one of the greatest defensive coordinators of all time. He's probably a guy who, like we talked earlier, probably should have remained a coordinator. I'm not sure he's really head coach material.
Yep.
But he deserved a shot. He finally got, I mean, he paid his dues. The guy wanted a shot. He finally got it with the Broncos, and they're having some success. They got Teddy in there now. They look decent. They're playing the Jets. I mean, the Broncos are about to be 3-0.
Well, are you saying the Jets aren't pressured to win? I mean, do you feel like they don't care?
They're pressured to win, but they're not going to do it.
Okay, so you're taking the Broncos at home. I'm rolling with you, man. That's 2 games in a row we're siding. Actually, 3. Oh my gosh, what's happening here? The aforementioned destroyed Dolphins. How do you recover from that? Travel in and try their luck against the Raiders.
Hey, look at that. I see.
There's no wordplay that can describe the pain that is about to be what the Dolphins experience against this onslaught that Vegas has put on through this team. I am aghast at what they have been able to do. And is this a mirage? Not the hotel, but is this an actual?
The Raiders?
Yeah. Like, am I seeing what I'm seeing, or is this just fantasy land?
Don't you see this? I mean, I think they win this week. I think they're about to have 3 wins here. But don't you see this imploding maybe at the end of October? At some point, something's going to happen.
Oh, they play the Eagles. I'm going out there for it. Maybe a live remote show. Huh?
Maybe that's what happens. But they're going to win again this week. I mean, the Dolphins going to Vegas after that. Like you said, I mean, that was an ugly. That was embarrassing what happened. It seemed like the Dolphins were kind of on the up and up. Brian Flores, that's his name, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they made the playoffs last year, right?
Yeah.
I think that 35-0 loss to Buffalo.
They beat the Patriots the week before that. That's why this is like, what happened?
Sometimes they'll try to explain it away. Like sometimes those things happen, but that loss last week may have set the franchise back by a couple years. I don't know. I don't see them going into Vegas and winning this game. I mean, who's the quarterback? Is Tua still playing?
He's out. He's got rib injury. So
they're going with Jacoby, right?
Yeah, Brissett.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Derek Carr. Derek Carr's looked like an MVP candidate so far.
On fire, dude.
In Vegas, you got to go with the Raiders.
Making people like Nelson Aguilar actually look like talent. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm going with the Raiders too, man. 3-0 after this weekend. The Seahawks, your division rivals, travel into where the Vikings roam, Minnesota. 1-1 taking on 0-2. Griff, what say you?
I like the Seahawks in this game. Tough loss last week, but the Vikings just aren't a very dynamic football team.
Damn kickers.
I think Mike Zimmer is probably on pace to be the first coach fired this year. They're just not meeting expectations.
Yeah.
And Dalvin Cook's great, but outside of that, and the Seahawks, I mean, that was a fluke type of game last week. Titans kind of got lucky with all that. I like the Seahawks in this game.
Bucks at Rams. Some would say this is the game of the week. I would side with those people. You say it's probably another game coming up, but let's talk about this one first.
Oh, it's a huge game. It's a huge game.
Huge.
And, it's arguably the biggest game of Matt Stafford's career.
Yeah.
A chance for him to say, I belong in the upper echelon of quarterbacks in this league.
Up there with Jalen Hurts.
Something like that.
Up there. Real high.
Right below Jimmy G. But are you really going to count against Tom Brady? I mean, it's not prime time, but it's the 420 game. It's Fox's game of the week. Most of the country is going to be watching this game. It's in Los Angeles. The bright lights. Are the lights too bright for Matt Stafford? We're going to find out. Sean McVay, we've seen him choke in big games before. Tom Brady doesn't choke unless he's playing Eli Manning or Nick Foles. I like Tom Brady in this game. It's not the Bucs, it's Tom Brady.
That's a good point. You're onto something there. But I'm going to go with the home team here. Tampa Bay is going to be 2-1. Carolina is going to overtake the NFC South division lead after Sunday around 7:30-ish. And the Rams are going to be 3-0, and the whole city is going to be a fire. Not because of all I didn't mean it like that. I meant like literally people are going to be so excited about this team. Right. And they should be, dude, because if they win, if they can beat the Tom Brady's, I feel like, okay, we have our pick in the NFC, at least to go to the conference championship against the Seahawks, because and you have them two out of the same division. Then you have Arizona. Oh my gosh, my head's going to explode. I can't even. Craziness. We'll do it live. We're doing it live. I'm taking the Rams. You're taking the Bucks. Here we go. Boy, oh boy, this game right here. The 8:20 special, Sunday night. The kids will be in bed. I'll be cracking my third beer of the hour. And the Packers are rolling into your San Francisco Bay Area to take on the 2-0 49ers.
Oh my goodness.
Somehow escaped the Eagles last week. I don't know how they did it. Both teams sucked. It was terrible.
Oh, I mean, the Niners did exactly what they wanted to do. They played great defense. Jimmy G did just enough. Kyle Shanahan didn't want to reveal the entire playbook. So they did what they had to do to win the game. And that's exactly what happened. They won the game and now they're 2-0. And this week, Aaron Rodgers would love nothing better than to go back home to the Bay Area, get a win, to tell everyone to relax. We're 2-1 now. Look at us. That was all for naught. But that's not going to happen. The San Francisco 49ers are going to win this game. I think last week you didn't see him at all because he was prepping for this week. He was in hiding. He was learning secret plays. Trey Lance will be unleashed on prime time Sunday night football. You're going to see some Jimmy G, then you're going to see Trey Lance. Then you're going to see some Jimmy G, then you're going to see some Trey Lance. The Packers aren't going to know what hit them. Aaron Rodgers throws probably 2 pick sixes. The Niners roll in this game.
Whoa, a lot was said there. But Griff, I think the biggest takeaway here is that Aaron Rodgers feels right at home in San Francisco. After all, Kyle Shanahan wanted him as his quarterback. But the Packers said no. Just remember that as you sit here and talk about how great this quarterback situation is in San Fran, just remember that not too long ago, Aaron Rodgers was talked about as being a 49er. Think about that.
That's true. That's before Kyle Shanahan had learned of Trey Lance and that Trey Lance even existed. Now he knows that Trey Lance is probably going to be one of the top 5 quarterbacks that's ever played the game.
Was Trey Lance in that old catalog, Things You Never Knew Existed? And it got mailed to his house and he opened it and he saw Trey Lance on page 2 and he's like, holy cow, hold the phone. We don't need Aaron Rodgers. Here's our future.
Right, exactly.
Makes sense. Got Trey Lance. And I can't wait to see more out of Trey Sermon. Can we unleash this guy, please? Can somebody do something with him on offense?
Half of them are injured. Shanahan's a weird guy. He's shifty. I like to say he's shifty. You never know what you're going to get with Kyle Shanahan.
Well, you're going to get an overall losing record as a head coach because that's what he has. But you'll get some creativity too. I get it.
Okay.
Just saying.
My kids are waiting for me. How many more games do we have?
We'll save the best for last, Griff.
Oh.
The Monday night game, Monday Night Football, baby! Big time! It's the Philadelphia Eagles. I got here a few days early, Griff. I wanted to beat traffic.
You're already there.
I did. I got a seat. But here I am, and I'm excited because here's what's going to happen. Okay, I know that people are calling the Eagles. They slip down in the pro football power rankings, as they say. But I don't care what the media thinks. I don't care what all these so-called experts say. The Eagles they got beat by the Niners. Call them done. 6-11 at best. Philadelphia is going to march right here into AT&T Stadium behind me and in front of me, and they're going to handle their business on Monday night. And when I say handle their business, Dak Prescott is going to get absolutely pummeled by his old college buddy, Fletcher Cox. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
The Eagles are going to unleash their offensive playbook on the Dallas Cowboys. And I got to say, man, it's going to be something for the ages. So get ready. McCarthy has no idea what's coming his way.
You know what? I think you're right. I think the Eagles are going to win this game. I think they're going to go to Dallas. I think they're going to do it. I like the Eagles in this game. Dallas is going to choke on the big stage. It's Mike McCarthy. I was convinced last week. No, I wasn't. Not really. But I think the Eagles win this game.
Agreed. Folks, we have brought all of our best and worst predictions here in Wenz World. There will be a clear-cut winner in week 3.
I love that we don't use stats or anything to back up. It's just our gut feeling.
None of that. It's all about the guts. Intestinal fortitude, Griffin.
Bring your own guts, as Dabo Sweeney would say.
We never, ever like to leave an episode of Wenz World here with Radio Griff without our guts and the sage lyrical ability of one zombie Tom Petty.
You belong amongst the wildflowers.